like every time I experience cloud, I just flee. That's cause I got social issues.
So, I'm not gonna lie, this year's playoffs has been much more exciting in comparison to last year's playoffs when it was just the Warriors and the Cavs. We've seen a lot of things that we never expected to happen coming into the playoffs this year. We've seen a lot of players step up, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of terrible and inexcusable performances from players we expect to step up and help their team win. And maybe the reason behind that is because the stage light is too bright and got to them, or they were just lacking the experience. But whatever the case may be, they weren't there when their team needed them the most. So that being said, today I'm gonna be talking about the 5 most disappointing players in the 2018 NBA playoffs so far. Let's hop right into it. So coming at number 1 is Carmelo Anthony. Now I'm gonna try and keep this short and simple. Carmelo Anthony is not the player he used to be. This man is severely, and I mean severely, washed up. 11 points per game. Like, this man shot 21.4% from the 3-point line and 37% from the field. If his name wasn't Carmelo Anthony, he wouldn't have gotten the start or the minutes that he got in the playoffs. You know what? Not just the playoffs, but the regular season as a whole. And Billy Donovan is one of the worst coaches in the NBA for even having them out there for that long. Carmelo Anthony is not a winner. He doesn't really do anything on the court but ISO, in ISO, in ISO, and breaks. At this point of his career, he's only a liability. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of high expectations for Carmelo Anthony coming into the NBA season, but man, was I wrong. And personally, I think Carmelo Anthony might be one of the most overrated players in NBA history, just because he doesn't have a winning mentality. He won't do what's best for the team. He only cares about himself and being a starter and doing a lot of ISO post-ups and breaking shots. But you know, I could go on and on and on, but Billy needs to be fired and Carmelo gotta go if I am a Thunder fan. So coming at number 2 is Damian Lillard. Now, it's crazy how a player could go from the most underrated player in the NBA to the most overrated player in the NBA after one playoff series. But that seems to be the case for Damian Lillard. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, looking at the stat lines in the Pelicans and Blazers series, I do see where people come from. 18 points per game, the man shot 30% from the 3-point line and only 35% from the field. This is absolutely inexcusable, and it seems to be the case every year or most of the time. Looking back at last year, he did average 27 points, but don't let that fool you, because he shot 28% from the 3-point line, and he always talks about how underrated he is in the NBA, but playoffs showing like the one he just had isn't helping his case out at all. He seems to play great in the regular season, but always seems to underperform in the playoffs, and that has caused his team to lose and get swept by the Pelicans this year. Now coming at number 3 is Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, if Karl-Anthony Towns is supposed to be the franchise player for the Wolves, then he gotta play like it, meaning he can't be getting outplayed by players like Clint Capella in the NBA playoffs. Although Clint Capella is one of the best young defensive centers in the NBA, but you know, you're Karl-Anthony Towns, and he did put up 15 points per game, but you know, he was just lacking that aggressiveness that you need to win a playoff series. But I'm not gonna get on him as much, you know, as I would originally, since you know, this is his first playoff appearance, and you know, as people say, time comes with experience. But being one of the best young talents in the NBA, I did expect a lot better from Karl-Anthony Towns. You see a lot of other guys like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and Donovan Mitchell playing much better in their first playoff appearance, and overall you just gotta do better and step up and be more aggressive. I mean, he did show signs of that throughout the series, but he just didn't do it enough, and hopefully this doesn't happen again in next year's playoffs. And coming at number 4 is Hassan Whiteside. I'm gonna be honest, Hassan Whiteside just completely, and I mean completely, disappeared. The showing that he gave in this year's playoffs was just inexcusable, and he was nowhere to be found. The man only put up 5 points per game and 6 rebounds, and there were some games where he had more fouls than points. That's how bad he was in this year's playoffs. I mean, Damian was complaining about he wasn't getting enough minutes, but when he was given the minutes, he did absolutely nothing. I mean, he's definitely getting traded the next NBA season. Last but not least, coming at number 5 is Eric Bledsoe. Now, Eric Bledsoe was to be a huge factor for the Bucks coming into this year's playoffs, but that man was just completely inconsistent and wasn't really good at all for the most part. It was only Giannis and Chris Middleton and Thon Maker at the defensive end of the floor. I mean, he only put up 13 points and 3 assists, and he was a non-factor for the most part in this series. When the Bucks first traded for Eric Bledsoe, I was expecting big things, but after what he showed in the playoffs this year, the man got outplayed by Terry Rozier. I mean, he did good in a couple games, but he didn't play to the level we all thought he could, alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton and, you know, the other guys.
Terry Rozier's gotten off to a strong start to the series, no turnovers in 78 minutes. How personally do you take that matchup?
Who?
Terry Rozier.
I don't even know who that is.
Hopefully he does now. But with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. And let me know down in the comment section below, who has been the most disappointing player in this year's NBA playoffs. But with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share and subscribe for more NBA content. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.